My name is Jocelyn Rios.
And I'm Gazel Agua.
And this is One Piece at a Time. We are your hosts, and in celebration of the One Piece anime's 20th anniversary, this podcast will explore each episode of this beloved franchise from the perspective of a seasoned One Piece fan and a first-time watcher.
We're social media producers at Funimation, and we can't wait to dive into this week's episodes. So join us on this adventure starting right now. Last podcast episode, which is episode 17, we cried. I got emotional because Vivi didn't join the group. She stayed in Alabama. But
heartbreak.
Yeah, honestly, right? But we got someone else. We got Robin. Yay!
Well, I'm not sure if
yeah, I know, right? Right.
But sure.
Yes, I know, right? That's such a weird moment. And we got to see a little bit more into the backgrounds of each of the characters. So the individual Straw Hats outside of Luffy, we got to see more about them, which is cool. Mm-hmm. And even though it was filler episodes, it was a good time.
Yes.
So now we're on podcast episode 18, where we're going to go through anime episodes 136 through 143. And we are going through 2 new adventures, which is all filler, but it's still a good time. And you should check it out. Don't skip this podcast episode. Don't turn it off yet. We're still here. And you should listen to this episode, right? I know everyone's like, oh, filler, turn it off. No. You're going to want to listen to it, all right? We watched this episode. You want to watch it too, right? And also, we even have a special guest on this episode because we knew that some people might be like, oh, I don't watch filler. Well, tough noodles. You're going to want to listen to this podcast episode. A guest, we have Walter Parrington, who is a senior video editor at Funimation, where he works on trailers. And he's been working on the One Piece trailers ever since the show has been acquired by Funimation. Mm-hmm. It's a really good interview, like on how he got started, how One Piece has affected him. And I think you're really going to want to listen to it. And you're going to even want to listen to the whole podcast because it's a fun time where we're talking. These adventures, even though they are filler, they're a good time. Let's jump right into it. Mm-hmm. So, episode 136, Zeni of the Island of Goats and the pirate ship in the mountains. All right, so yeah, that's a weird concept right there. Yeah. I know, right? One thing also, even before we even get started with all that too, is I like the filler of this. You know, usually I don't like filler. You know, I'm like, why waste time, yada, yada, right? And I get that, right? But I would make a case for One Piece filler where the filler actually is really enjoyable. I've seen a lot of shows where filler is just waste time. We all know, I shouldn't name names.
Naming.
I'm about to get in trouble again for you guys, but no, I'm not going to get fired today. But other shows, we know, you can imagine your favorite shonen show, which has filler in it, and it's just like, what are we doing? But One Piece filler, I actually think builds the show.
I mean, I'm not an expert on anime, and I definitely I don't read the One Piece manga, so I wouldn't know what is filler and what's not. Mm-hmm. Although I sort of can tell when the episodes don't do anything for the main story. But so far, I've enjoyed every filler arc.
Good.
I think One Piece does a good job of maintaining it, in the right spirit. Mm-hmm. And of keeping it entertaining. Yes. Like, it is a whole story within itself.
Yes.
But it's a good story, usually.
I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. And there's only one filler arc that I would tell you to skip because, honestly, this filler arc actually made me so angry I thought I was going to quit One Piece. I was like, I look back and I'm like, how did it make me so angry? Mm-hmm. I haven't seen it. I've never even touched it before after. But, I don't know. I just skip it. And that's later on. Luckily, that's at the very end of this whole podcast run, or at least the Merry Binge. So we're going to see, and hopefully continue with One Piece, afterwards. Yes. I really think you'll continue with One Piece.
I really think at this point, I don't think I could stop.
Honestly, you're right. It's too late.
To.
The crazy train keeps on going.
Yeah.
So now we're starting episode 136. I already said the title, so that's what it is. So and also this whole podcast, they're running from the Marines a lot.
Yeah,
the Marines are ruthless. Like, they're like, you're get back here. You're gonna do your time in jail, Straw Hats. So
and they're like, nope.
Yep, I know, right? So anyways, they run away from the Marines and they find an island of goats.
Mm-hmm. Fierce goats. The goats start like attacking them.
I know, right? And they're about to kill them. They're about to kill these goats.
Poor goats.
I know, right? I mean, well, that's what happens. I was like, chop them up, Zoro. Kick their brains in, Sanji.
Get some lamb chops.
Yeah, there we go. Like, it's either you goats or Chopper, right? Like, what's gonna happen? Venison or goat meat?
Yes.
Anyways, Chopper's like, don't do it. They're nice. I'm like, man.
Chopper can communicate with animals. Yes. Yeah, we have to use that skill.
Which is good. In my head, I'm just like, I guess. Like, of all things, like, finally, I'm like, yes, let's get some meat. I don't know why I was so mean against these goats. They're cute goats, really.
Yeah.
Anyways.
And they tell Chopper that someone ordered them to attack. And they're like, who?
Yeah. And then as that happens, we see an old man fall from a tree.
Yeah.
And dun dun dun, his heart just stopped.
His heart stopped.
Dun dun dun. And he's about to die. Because Zoro makes like a joke that, is really scary, but it scares this old man to death. Yeah, literally.
Literally.
Yes, and everyone's like, well, no, we're not gonna kill this old man. He's innocent. So for some reason, they're all really nice to him. Mm-hmm. I don't really understand why they're so nice to him.
I mean, he's just an old man who was afraid of pirates. That's understandable.
Okay, I guess so. But you're pirates.
Well, we know they're not like
they're not real pirates. I know, right? They're really nice guys. And I'm just like, I guess, y'all. It's like, I don't know. And anyways, they're Chopper heals the old man. Mm-hmm. We found out his name's Zenny. And Chopper is like, oh man, he's gonna die soon. His heart's sick and he's gonna die
in 3 days.
Oh no. So they're like, okay, I guess we'll help him out and help him live his best days of his life.
Yeah, so they do all his chores.
So nice.
And what was Zoro doing that he finds the ship on the mountain?
He got lost.
Oh, of course.
Like, he was looking for food and then he got lost. So
gotcha.
Yeah, which you're gonna see a lot more often. Like, I don't think I really realized this until later, but like, yeah, it's gonna get bad.
Oh, jeez.
Right. It's pretty funny though. And one funny thing. Well, I won't say anything else. Anyways,
okay.
He gets lost often. And then at the other end, we see the Marines who are still chasing after Luffy. They find out where Luffy is, and we actually see a smart guy. I actually think he's pretty smart. His name's Minchi, and I thought it was Da Vinci or Vinci or something like that. I don't know. It's Minchi with an M. And he finds out that the island they're on is run by Zenny, who has a vast treasure. He's supposed to have a vast treasure, and he's like, okay, let me see if I can figure out how to get rid of the Straw Hats and also how to get rid of this guy. Maybe this guy's already dead. Who knows? Anyways, sort of greedy, but I think he's smart.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, he's doing his job. Maybe a little corrupt, but I don't know. Anyways, that's the end of that episode, right? 137. I don't really understand this. How's tricks? Designs of Zenny the Moneylender. How's tricks?
How's tricks?
I don't know.
They
said it during the episode too, where they thought like during the chess game. Like, where it's like, we tricked you. They're like, yeah, we got you back, But I've never heard this saying before. Maybe it was an early 2000 saying,
maybe,
right?
Yeah.
I've never heard it. If maybe someone else could enlighten us on what house tricks means. Anyways, the crew is helping out.
Yeah, they're still helping out. They make this awesome food for the old man.
Right, trying to trigger him and be like, you're going to die soon. Right?
Yeah.
And won't this food send you to heaven? It's so tasty, right? It's pretty good.
And then he says, they asked about the ship, and the ship is meant to be his coffin.
Dun, dun, dun. What does that mean?
I don't know.
Right.
Then Zoro realizes that it's been more than 3 days since they've been there. And the old man keeps making up chores for them to do.
Right. Yeah, he's a ruthless guy. Even though they're doing nice things, he's like, yeah, get to work. You guys aren't cleaning hard enough, or you guys aren't cooking this enough, or whatever. It's just like, geez, picky. Like, no one was doing anything for you in the first place. Oh, well.
So they're like, hey, if he's not going to die, we're just going to go.
I know, right? It's like, I wonder what happened. Then again, to be honest, at this point, I was like, well, maybe you guys made his quality of living so nice that he wasn't going to die now. If he was by himself, 3 days ago, he probably would have died.
Maybe.
Old man with little food and goats. All right, probably gonna die. Now you guys fed him quality food, cleaned this place, took care of him. He doesn't move. Quality of living went up.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. So, but as they're like, hey, let's go, Nami. Also, I was like, Nami, I've never seen you do anything so irresponsible. Nami's playing chess against him, but has been betting stuff and apparently bet the ship.
Yeah. Why would you do that?
I know, right? I was like, what? What is this guy? Oh, because like the whole reason she's been playing chess against him is she can hopefully find out if Zenny has a treasure map. So this was a gamble to see if he has a hidden treasure chest somewhere, because she can just sort of figure out by the way he acts, like how secretive he is, that he has treasure somewhere.
Yeah, she loses the ship just as they decide that they want to leave.
Oh my gosh.
So now they can't leave, and they're like, we'll just leave.
Right.
And Luffy's like, no.
Right.
Like, a gamble is a promise, and I don't break promises. Wow. And I'm like, Luffy, this is not the time.
Like, now you want to be responsible?
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. But luckily, Robin, she's smart, the sophisticated, smart woman that we have on board. She beats Zenny in chess immediately, and gets the ship back. So, yay, they're okay.
And they have a party to celebrate, which is okay.
Yeah, right.
Gotcha.
Which I think is fair. It is like, okay, we're gonna stay a little longer, but it's like, makes sense. You got to say bye in a big way, right?
Yeah.
Right. And during that party, we get to hear what Zenny did before, and like what his dream is. So apparently he was a money lender to pirates, which is a dumb profession, isn't it?
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
No, not at all. Why would you lend money to pirates?
No, they're criminals who don't want to pay anything back. You're right. But he tells like how he got his money. He always got his money back, and he would play tricks on. Oh, maybe that's where the tricks are. I just found out. What do you know? Right? So he would play tricks on the pirates to get his stuff back. So like plant firecrackers like on their boats and act like if it was a bomb. Like, you're gonna give me my money. Although it's still like, that's a dumb profession. It's like just be a regular guy. I don't know. Anyways, then ballsy, I guess. I don't know. But he said that his dream was to become a pirate.
Yes.
But he couldn't do it.
He couldn't do it, and he got marooned on this island. He started building that ship, but now he's too old to be a pirate.
He built it up on the mountain because all the resources are up on the mountain.
Yeah.
And then he's too old. To be honest, is like, I don't know how you're going to bring it down. Smart guy. Oh, well. Anyways.
Yeah. But Luffy tells him that age has nothing to do with it. He's like, well.
I mean, it sort of does, but hey.
Better late than never, I guess.
Yes, exactly. Like, whereas, like, good on you. And also, you do have goat power. Right?
Yeah.
I guess that's something. Like, which is good. Luffy's always inspirational.
Yeah, I think, as long as you have a dream, it's always about trying to look forward.
Yes.
Just forget about what you didn't do and just figure out what you want to actually do.
Dang, Jocelyn, that's deep. That's deep. I like that. Always with the deep words. I like that. Yeah. So it's not too late to become an airline steward.
No.
No. Airline stewards are the best. I was just thinking of a random job that would be outside of this. All right. But, it's never too late to do what you want. It's never too late to watch One Piece, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
No matter if it has 1,000 episodes.
By the time a lot of people start, it will be at 1,000 episodes. We are almost at 900 episodes now. Man, crazy. So, anyways, as they are about to help bring down the boat, they're like, yeah, we'll help you bring the boat down. You can do what you want. The Marines come through, and Minchie's there, and he's trying to be smart. Actually, he's like, hey man, I'm not trying to fight you guys. You guys can go that way,
Yeah,
but it's a trap.
It's a trap.
Dun, dun, dun.
There's Marines in the fog hiding, and he just wants the treasure,
which is smart. And I'm like, I don't understand what the problem is, but oh well, or people are mad at him. It's like, oh my god, you're such a bastard, and like. His job is to capture these guys, and these guys have $100 million berry bounty. It's like, what do you think is going to happen when he starts to fight them? He's going to get Usopp's going to take him out. Nami's going to take him out accidentally. Robin's going to crack his neck. It's not going to be good. Anyways, But the others, luckily, the others on the top find out that it's a trap, but they get trapped themselves. So they get taken as hostage. So, Marines put them in some good moves.
Dun, dun, dun. But the old man, suddenly, we see that he is coming down the mountain on the ship. Like, how does that ship not break down?
Right, exactly right. But it is built with friendship. And friendship keeps the bond strong. The wood.
Keeps the wood together.
Exactly, right. And also goat power. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a physicist.
Episode 138. Whereabouts of the island treasure. Attack of the Zeni pirates.
Okay. So, yeah. Sliding down the hill on a boat. Okay, sure. Right. And he luckily causes enough commotion that the Straw Hats are able to escape. And they're able to make it out to the water. Yay. So, yeah, we're all going to be good. The goats are on the boat. Goats on the boat. That's the title name right there. And then and everyone is fighting the Marines, including the goats and Zeni.
Yeah, and Zeni fights with his abacus?
Yes.
I
made me I was like, could I use an abacus as like a
skateboard?
A weapon? Right? Yeah, because he uses it as a skateboard and he fights with it too. I was like, I actually don't even know how you count with an abacus anymore.
You don't know how to? Well, you just move the pieces to count.
I guess
it's just to keep track.
Okay, that makes
like
sense.
A calculator.
Gotcha. Okay, cause I was like,
it's like for big numbers.
Yes.
It's not to count 10 things.
I was about to ask a stupid question.
1, 2, 3.
There we go. Right. I was like, well, why not just use a calculator?
No, because I'm not sure how it works.
Because also this is before calculators were made too.
The way it makes sense to me, you would go up 10 is one of the lesser, and hundreds and thousands, and that way you can count.
I see
a lot of stuff.
I was about to ask
keep track of stuff.
I like that, but you taught me another thing.
I guess he tracks his goats. I don't know. What does he count? Well, he's money.
Because he
was a money lender. Yeah, exactly, right.
I guess old habits die hard, and his abacus was his only friend. I don't know. I don't know. Anyways.
And it's a weapon, so.
Yes.
Cool.
Exactly. So, Luffy's trying to help and trying to get on the main ship to help defeat the pirates. But Minchi does more smart moves where he's like, you know what? No, you can't jump. You can't come up on here. And he cuts the rope that Luffy's trying to climb up on, which causes Luffy to go into the water. I was like, wow, how come people don't do this normally,
Yeah.
like this is really good. And then Zoro's actually, Zoro, good guy, trying to go help Luffy, who's drowning in the water. But he goes the wrong way. And so, oh my gosh. Yes.
And I think the ship runs him over.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Hear a little bonk. He's okay though. So, as the old man's fighting Zeni, his heart starts to give out. Dun, dun, dun.
No.
And he's taken hostage. And the goats are being taken hostage too. It's like, no,
goats,
you can take the old man who's about to die, but not the goats. Darn you. Darn you. So, the Marine Captain Minchi is like, hey, where's that treasure? As that's about to happen, the Straw Hats come through and they save him. And it's, yay, everyone's good. Right? No goats were harmed in this practice, right? Minchi is defeated and is slingshotted over to his commanding officer, which is pretty funny. And that commanding officer is like, yeah, thanks for giving me my corrupt captain, who was about to betray us all for some treasure. But we got to fight still. It's like, I guess so. They beat up.
Yeah, they beat them.
It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
Deal. And then the old man tells the guys, the crew, that there actually was a treasure, but the goats ate it. Because it was paper money.
Or eating goat stew tonight, you boys. Right?
So now the goats are the treasure.
Ooh, literally.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But good for you, goat man.
At least the goats are cool. At least the goats are cool when they listen to him.
Yeah.
Yes.
They better after they ate all the treasure.
I know. I was a little mad. I was like, Nani? What? They ate the what now? They ate my money? Oh, well. Anyways, he had no way to getting off the island anyway. So it's a matter of time. And he made new friends along the way and got new treasure. Yay. Yeah. So, yay. And then,
so the Marines call the Straw Hats via snail.
Yes.
And they're like, hey, we need you to come out here because We got to trap you.
Right. And
Luffy's like, we'll be out in a minute. Let's just leave this old man settled.
My God. So, yeah. So the old man gets inspired and he's like, you know what? Maybe it isn't too late to go do what I want. So he has a log post and he's going on his own adventure.
Yeah, and the guys leave a lot of medicine for him to survive.
Nice.
And
Straw Hats are some philanthropists, honestly. You know, it's like, you guys are really good. You know? Yeah. Gave him all his free medication, fed him, took care of him and the goats. Like, wow.
Yeah.
And then the Marines, they were supposed to go fight the Marines, but they accidentally led them into an accidental trap of the reefs. So the Marines are destroyed. Yay, all is well in the world. Yay. So right now we're going to do our social media question, and then we're going to introduce our guest, Walter. So the question I asked on both of our channels, so we have the One Piece official Facebook page, and we have the One Piece anime Twitter page, and I asked this question on Monday this time. Yeah. I asked, do you have a favorite filler episode and or arc, actually, and then if so, what is it? Because, you know, some of these filler bits are just episodes, some of them are arcs, you know, and if you said you didn't like it, well, tough noodles. I didn't want to hear that right now. No. But got some good answers though. Well, actually, one of my favorites was some of what we talked in the last podcast episode, where I think I have to say with Zoro and Usopp, I really like that. And actually, there's more filler to come through. Do you have a favorite so far?
I think so far my favorite has been Apis.
Apis,
yeah,
it was fun. And the evil dragons.
And the dragons who are oh so tender and cute.
Oh, man. All right. I like that. I got a few good answers. Some of these you won't know. So a lot of people, so on Twitter and Facebook, we got a lot of people said the G8 arc. And all I'll say with the G8 arc is I didn't even realize it was filler. It feels so real.
Which one?
G8. You haven't seen it yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
you haven't seen it. Which one is that?
But you will see it. But yeah, we had Amano Moon say it. We had Sydney Siddlewill. We had Thought Slayer 1970. we had a lot of people say G8. You know, Danny Luxray, Elijah 5829. You know, a lot of numbers. Yeah, we had a lot of people say G8, and honestly, G8 would probably be my favorite arc too. But you know, out of what we've seen so far, I would have to say, actually, no. You know, if I had to choose one, I would choose the Sanji episode. That Sanji, Iron Man, Curry. Like that one, like surprised me. There's some filler that are TV specials that haven't been licensed by us, unfortunately, but some really good ones. For example, there is the Boss Luffy special. So like it is one where they're like in a fashion show.
Oh,
yeah.
Is that Vivi?
Yeah, it's Vivi. Yeah, Vivi.
So we see Vivi again.
Yes.
Yay!
Yeah. So like, you know, just how we see like Kobe again. Yeah, we've seen a few of them. Some people actually mention like movies. So I guess movies would sort of count because they're not canon. They don't.
None of them?
I don't think so, honestly. Yeah, like they don't really count as canon. Maybe Film Gold is canon-ish. Canon-ish. That's all I'll say. If you don't see it, it's fine. But if you do see it, it's great time. Like there's actually like a lot of movies that are unlicensed also. Those are filler-ish too. Like they're just extra adventures that they have, but they're a lot of fun. Uchiha Marcelo says Film Z is one of his favorites, which is also a great movie. So you can get down to Funimation shop. Going to Facebook, we have a few answers too that are a little different. Mitchell actually agrees with you that he likes the Apis filler, which is great. Yeah, right.
Mitchell, my man.
Yeah, there we go, right? And that lovely land arc with the Phoenix Pirates. Cassie says the Straw Hat Theater segments. So the Straw Hat Theater, it's a little bit later on, like in like 400s. It is very weird. Like they're like chibis, like they're chibis, and then also like they're like old women. Every character's an old woman.
Okay.
Yes.
Chibi old woman?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes. Yes, it is very interesting. I'll have to show you later on. It's a little bit later after our podcast thing, but once we get to that point, I'll show you. The good answers, everyone. Everyone's about GA, but get on the other filler, like, you know, the Apis or the Iron Chef, Iron Man, Curry. That's really good. So, yeah, a lot of good answers. Thank you, guys. And then right now, I'd like to introduce our guest, where we interviewed a senior video director, Walter Parrington, who has been at the company Funimation for about 10 years. And he's been working on the One Piece property ever since Funimation got it, back in 2007. It's a really good story about like how he enjoyed One Piece, how he got to know One Piece before working at Funimation, and then also how his experience working with One Piece has been. So enjoy. We have another guest, so you are our third guest. Welcome to the show. You're the senior video editor?
I'm the senior video motion designer at Funimation. I work in the promotional video department. As I say on most of our tours, we're the department that creates all those videos that you see on our YouTube, Facebook, and that go on our Blu-ray DVDs, all the trailers, clips, sometimes GIFs. So anything to promote the show and video-wise, we create. So we have 4 editors and 2 audio guys, camera person, producer. And so
house professional right there.
Yeah, we have tours come through all the time, so I'm always having to give the spiel.
I mean, I don't even give like social media pitches that well. I'm like, I do social media sometimes. I guess post on Facebook every now and then.
Hey, y'all, I always say y'all are like the meme kings. Y'all like memes. People are like, oh man, I just saw this meme. You already seen it. Y'all live on the internet.
Yeah, I mean, honestly.
You're in the y'all like squirrels.
The fact that I'm talking to you in person, right?
The internet?
Squirrels, that's where squirrels live, man. They live in the
internet. We don't talk to people in person usually, It's like internet only, Like I message you online, right?
It's a big internet, but small world. It's crazy when you meet somebody from the internet in real life. You're like, whoa, this is happening. I forgot, like you said, we type and talk to each other all the time digitally, and then you're in person. Like it's really cool.
It's crazy.
It's magical.
It honestly magical. It is. How long you been at the company, by the way?
So I've been at Funimation for a collective of 10 years, maybe going on 11. Yeah. So I started at Funimation in 2006. When I graduated from the Art Institute of Video Editing, and then I worked here for 4 years, then left for a year or so, went to some other agencies and stuff, and then came back, and now making that 5-6 year mark again. So it's pretty wild. Yeah. It's one of those.
Congratulations, man.
Yeah. Even with that break in between, it felt like I didn't really leave. It was just more of a long break. Like what do you call those things?
Sabbaticals.
Jostling the words.
I think I want to I wish I could take sabbaticals all the time.
We all need to take sabbaticals. Yeah. Europe's on it, right? And here we are having to go.
Europe's just taking breaks eating biscuits all the time.
Right. And how long have you been on One Piece?
So I've been working on One Piece since we have acquired it back in probably 2007 or so. I don't. It was when we first acquired the movie. I think it was before we even acquired the series, because it was like in the hands of 4Kids before we acquired it, I believe, yes, right? Uh-huh. And they were doing all the censor, but we got that movie. I guess how do you want to set this up? I give you a little
feel free. Yeah. Actually,
setting.
I want to know about the history because I don't know the history.
Sure. No, I got my own little journey, King of the Pirates journey, but much dumber.
You're taking us on the cruise.
I'm not a king now. Yeah.
You're the Goldie Roger of this thing, man. You were there before we were on this.
It's a very bootleg cruise. It's going to be very terrible. I'm no king, but I was doing a little pirating. Mm-hmm. We'll get a little taboo with this. So to set the framework, this is a crazy journey, right? So we, a lot of us. Fans, you grew up watching a lot of anime. Grew up watching Dragon Ball Z on Toonami, and all the anime that they were running on their blocks after school. So 2002, right? I'm gonna be one of them. I'm gonna show my age right here, but you know what? Hey, it's cool if you're young. It's cool if you're old. Don't feel shamed about it.
There you go.
I was a sophomore in 2002, maybe a junior, somewhere in between there.
School?
Yeah, high school, 2002, right? The GameCube just came out. So you have that, but set that around with this is how it's set. It's weird, but I just got done working by I used to work at KB Toys back in the day.
Man,
It is what Christmas times, people crawling on shelves for those fur kitties and looking for those rare Hot Wheel toys. So I got tired working at KB Toys because it was just madness. I thought working at a toy store would be fun. It's not. It is madness. It's crazy. So I was like, man, there used to be a video game. I worked at a mall, and there was a video game store on the other side of the mall. I was like, I want to work there. All the people are cool, and it's video games. I like video games. So I ended up getting a job there. It was like called CGX Video Game Exchange, or before that.
I remember that spot.
Yeah, right at the corner of the Stonebriar Mall.
That was better than GameStop. Honestly, it was just like
it was it was the mom and pop, FX Video Game Exchange, I think it was originally called. Mm-hmm. And it was like the mom and pop indie game store where we would have. I mean, this is where people come and look for that like black label Castlevania Symphony of the Night, where you're like, oh, they got a copy, but it's going to cost you a penny for these rare games, right? We were more about preserving getting these collectors games and keeping them preserved, and like also like, hey, you're going to find the good stuff here, not like any not your typical mainstream releases. We were like collecting things, and at the same time, this place would import video games. Well. So in 2002, I got the GameCube, and I've always been into, watching anime like Silent Tonight, but I was also, I needed go deeper.
Deep cut.
I was going for those deep cuts. I was watching fan subs of Benobashi's Magical Shopping District.
Like no one has ever brought that show other than me, all right? I love that show.
That show was ridiculously awesome, fun, and I haven't revisited it, but I was like, oh my gosh, you had that. You had this show called Scride or S-Scride. I don't know how fans call it. And so I was watching these subtitle shows, right? Mm-hmm. And I was on the anime forums and message boards, and then I started seeing people talk about this One Piece. You had Naruto going on, and of course you were trying to get the latest fan subs of some Dragon Ball that hasn't been there yet. But then I was like, what's up with this One Piece? The art style kind of looked different for its time, because it wasn't your typical anime design. It was much more lankier, goofy looking characters. And you're like this kid who wants to be a pirate. And you watch I downloaded the first couple episodes, and I was like, whoa, this samurai dude with multiple swords. Mm-hmm. So I was like, this is cool. And so, of course, I'm going to school the next day going like, you check out One Piece, and then you had the Wind Waker, the Legend of Zelda Wind Waker coming out, which was all in the sea, which was almost like, I was like, I think they were inspired by One Piece or something like that, but I was like, it's going to be like One Piece game. Anyway, so I had the GameCube, right? And when I worked at the game store, we had the hookup of like, hey, can you import me this game, even though we were importing some other games to sell. And I was like, hey, there's this game, and I didn't know too much about One Piece still. I only watched a couple episodes because, it was hard to get kind of subs of that back in the day. And the compression
Y'all don't know how good you guys have it today.
Yeah, I don't even know how even think about it. I'm like, how did we even get those episodes? It was so weird. The news groups or something. It's like, it would be so hard to, like, it's so easy today. But back then it was like, it was even harder to get MP3s,
right,
like it was
LimeWire days, right?
I was like, how did I access? Anyway, so I was digging deep. I watched only so many episodes, and I wasn't even, reading the manga or anything. But at the time, I had my dad mod my GameCube, where you could play region, other region games, and I could import games. And there were some games, and I saw in a magazine. I think there was a One Piece game. It was like almost like Power Stone, and kind of like this battle royale type thing. You could break, 4 players or whatever, and you're all kind of free roaming fighting each other. Ooh. And it had cell shaded graphics. So obviously, I was a real, I like when things look stylish and cool. And I was like, I want to import this game. Dad, come on my GameCube. Got my GameCube mod, and I was at the video game store. I'm like, import me One Piece Grand Battle. I think it was called One Piece Grand Battle on GameCube. And of course, they were like, what? Like, I'm just order me one copy, please. And so we got a copy of it. And I think they ordered an extra copy to sell at the store, but it never got sold.
Dang.
And
they missed out.
Exactly.
That sounds like a cool game.
Exactly. I kept on telling people. So, and because that was also, you had the Naruto game on the GameCube. That was really freaking good. You had the move,
Ninja Storm or something.
Yeah. It was the very first one that was like, whoa, dang. It's almost like, what Fighter Z's is now to Dragon Ball Fighters. It's that first Naruto game with that. Anyways, this One Piece game, I get it in. It came with this collector figurine of the Panda.
Panda Man?
I didn't even know who Panda Man was. It was just like, dude, there's a Panda character. When's he coming in the anime? I don't know anything about it. And then, so I boot up the game, and you got the character selection screen, and you had like, your typical, your characters, Zoro, One Piece, and Sanji and all of them, and then you had Don Flamingo and
Bon Clay.
Bon Clay, he crazy, and then you had the clown. Oh my gosh, Buggy. Yeah.
Oh, so Jocelyn, you're the expert now.
You had all these characters, and a lot of them I was just like, whoa, what are they gonna be like in the show? And you're playing with them, and you're like, this is they all have their own moves, and it was very weird. And I was going to school and showing people like, hey, if one, check out the import GameCube games, they're really small, and two, like, look at this figurine it came with. And then I was like, you gotta come over and play this game. It's a cool fighting game. It's almost like Power Stone, whatever. So anyways, that was 2002. 4 years later, I'm kind of like, I've been going through college. You get busy at college. You kind of lose track and don't get to keep up with as much from video games to watch anime and all that stuff. You're kind of just in the zone, the homework zone, and doing the projects, trying to be a good student, and trying to get the not missing a school. I don't think I missed a school day.
Dang,
I was yes, yeah. Wow. I think I got award for that. I don't know. Maybe I'm making that up. But so when I graduated, they were like after portfolio day that we show our portfolios to them. They're like, hey, Walter, we got a job offer for you. Have you heard of Funimation? And I was like, yeah, like, what? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, and I didn't know Funimation was in Texas at the time.
Yeah, me neither. When I got the job, I was like, what? It's in Dallas
and
this whole time?
I watched Dragon Ball Z on Toonami. And they're in Texas. What's going on? So I was like, sure. What are they? And they're like, oh, they're looking for a video editor, motion graphics artist. So I'm like, cool. And so I go for the interview of the job. Which could be a whole story in itself, which is a really bizarre story of being interviewed here. This was, again, 2006. Those weird times where I show up at some Starbucks. I'm all dressed up in my portfolio, my reel, my business cards, and this guy who, I won't name names, he was all dressed in like work, like he was like painting a house. He even had paint on him. And I was like, but I was waiting this whole time, just like waiting for this other guy in a business suit to come in. And then suddenly he's like, this dude behind me was like, Walter? And I was like, He's like, you dressed up for this? I'm like, oh, yeah. I'm all like, business.
You dressed up for this?
Up for a job.
Exactly. And so this I knew the place was going to be different and crazy. So, we go for it. He's like, I got to go pick up a vacuum cleaner from my brother. You want to come along? Of course, I'm like, sure, I want to get the, I was just like, is this what people do in interviews? Like, so I jumped in the car with them. We're driving, and we end up talking about some comic books and shows. So it was really cool. We go to his brother's house, and it was really dark, and his brother, they're playing like Mario Kart, and they're like, hey, he was like, hey, this is Walter, he's here for an interview, and they're like, hey, man. And I was like, hey, and so I help him pick up a vacuum cleaner, put in his car, and then we get back to Starbucks, and he's like, cool, and I was like, well, here's my reel and business card. He's like, thanks, man, whatever. And I was like, well, I guess that went good, like, what the heck, I just met the family or something, it was like, that was the weirdest thing. And then suddenly, I get called back, I go back, for another interview, and then finally get the offer and get a job. So I started there, and that's when they were like, when I started for the job, it was, they're like, you're making trailers, and for some reason I never thought that was a job occupation, right? I used to collect anime on DVD. Like I worked at Best Buy before I got the job at Funimation. A couple of jobs later. I worked at the Angelical Film Center, then I worked at Best Buy, and I would use my paychecks and buy the next Hellsing DVD, get the new, I had Trigun DVDs, and all the kind, and Best Buy, a lot of people, there was a lot of untapped like release, you check in the nooks and crannies, like, oh, they got this anime DVD, and it was rare, but I got access to it, and I get deployed, at cost discount. So anyways, I'm buying, but I would always watch the trailers on the DVD, especially like Hellsing, where I'm like, oh man, these some were really cool, where I'm like, yo, Dad, check this show out. They don't care. You're like, what? You're like, check it. But and I was, connecting with it because of the edit, the music, and the vibe. But I didn't really know that at the time. It was like, oh, this is really cool. And but I never thought someone had to make that.
Yeah, I never really thought about it too until working here.
Yeah, you're just like, it was just something you thought a machine just puts down a disc and it's there. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh yeah. You just never think about that as the minutia in a way, right?
Sure. So it's one of those, which I would love to like wonder where those trailer editors are now. But anyways, it was one of those. So when I started working on Funimation, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm making trailers. Yeah. So I started working on my first title was Peach Girl. I started doing, and this is back in the day, we had to put in the tape, and you would watch the show in real time or fast forward, then you had to put your in and outs, and then it would have to capture the video in real time. So if you're capturing a 3-minute clip, you have to wait 3 minutes for that clip to play out so it digests onto your computer and hard drive. And so we would do these trailers for people who've bought these DVDs, the Peach Girl or Mushishi or Samurai 7. It's not Samurai, Seven Samurai?
Samurai, yeah.
Seven Samurai.
Oh, no, wait, Seven Samurai is a movie, yeah, and then Samurai 7 is the anime.
Yeah, same story. Yeah. Anyways, so I did those were my first titles I worked on, and Peach Girl, I was into Gossip Girl at the time, so I was trying to make it all cool and poppy. And there was this other game I was kind of basing graphics on that say Feel the Magic, if anyone knows. See my old One Piece trailer, or my old Peach Girl trailers, you'll kind of see the influence. Anyway, so I was doing the Gossip Girl thing on Peach Girl, and watching that, and but then it was, I think, a year later or so when we got that Alabasta movie. It might have been 2007 or something like that. They came into our department and was like, "Hey, we're getting this One Piece movie. Toys, giving us the rights to Desert Alabasta. It's like the third movie, maybe, or something, or first movie." So
was it like a compilation of the episodes?
Yeah, like a recap telling. Yeah, totally. And so it was like that. And they're like, "If we do good on this, we're probably going to get the series."
Wow.
So I was like, okay, cool. But that was the kind of going back to where I said the story was like, that was the trip where everyone's like, "Have you heard of One Piece?" I'm like, oh my gosh, like I used to watch the fan subs back in like 2002, it started back in 1999, the show. And of course, One Piece is gone as long as it has. It was one of those like, yeah, I remember watching the first couple episodes. There was Zoro, and you had One Piece Luffy, and he's trying to become, king of the pirates and treasure. I didn't get too far into it, and then I had a video game that imported, had a panda character, so I was already kind of like, whoa, like, oh my gosh, I get to like now revisit this, and now working on it, which was, it was the craziest trip. Just like, even starting there and going like, oh my gosh, I watched Dragon Ball Z and Toonami. Now I'm making, season 8 trailer of Dragon Ball. So it was, it's like one of those, wild full circles. You come to that full circle thing where you're just like, oh my gosh, I'm making the thing, like I'm touching the stuff that I used to be inspired by and look up to and watch and everything. So, and that's some of those things I always tell people come through is like, a lot of people work here are fans of the show, so we want to make it as cool as it could be, because I know growing up watching those trailers was something, you want something cool that actually represents the show. So a lot of times that I've been working on One Piece or even doing the movies, a lot of times it's been fun doing work on the movies because I try to bring them up to that kind of Hollywood level with the big orchestral hits and Luffy always going like third gear. I mean, it's really the same thing over and over, like Dragon Ball, where it's just like, I'm gonna go to a new form, whatever. But One Piece, what's crazy with One Piece is, it never, it goes where it has, there's no formula other than just like, you got your other powers, but like its design or whatever, it's like every time I get, we're working on a new season or I get a new film to work on, it's like, where the heck is this show? Because I haven't kept up with One Piece lately, but every time I get to work on a new thing, I always try to watch it before I do it, and I'm just like, it never stops amazing me. It never stops surprising me. It's something, the new bad guys, new characters, and it really is almost the most bravest and creatively daring show in terms of just always changing up, always doing these new bad guys, and the art style still keeping wacky and goofy with his character designs, and I'm sure this all attributes to Oda and the manga, his ability to constantly take this story to where it's always something new. Yeah, it's always, and it's like you're going to see it. It's really one of the most. It's something magical. That's all I always say with something big like this. It's kind of like when you just watch the most recent Avengers. No spoilers, but I'm just saying, like in that moment, it's
keeps you on your toes.
Yeah, it keeps you on your toes. It's historical, and whenever One Piece ends, it's almost like you can't even. It gets to that point where you can't even review these type of things. You can't say it's bad or good because there's nothing that has ever reached this monumental peak that it has. It's near like what One Piece has done, almost like that's just like a new folktale for the whole Japan's generation.
Yes.
Where it's like, oh, have you heard the story of Luffy and becoming king of the pirates? And go watch 1,000 episodes. It's a lot. Imagine the textbooks of mangas are going to be in libraries after this. But so I've been a long-winded way of saying. I started, 2006, start working on One Piece with that the Alabasta movie, the recap movie, and then since then have been doing all the season sets from there on. Someone else took over for a little bit when we kind of changed directions. There's the creative direction and branding of it. We also kind of decided at some point, fans that are watching One Piece have grown up along with the show. So people who like, when I said I started watching in 2002, I'm 30 years old now. You have a lot of those fans that are like that. And so it was like, well, we need to stop treating this like a kid's show, even though it kind of is. But it's a show that a lot of fans have grown up with who are now older, just like fans of Dragon Ball Z, where it's just like, no, we need to make this cool and just as, mature as sometimes that content material gets with the fight scenes and Luffy and some of the bad guys and the music. You want to, in the creative direction when you're telling the stories, you want to get really kind of sometimes get gritty. It's just like the Marvel movies where it's just like, they're comic books, they're for, people say comic books for kids, whatever, but it's like, it's for all ranges, I think, and all ages. And while some kid can just start in One Piece now and kind of go back, or a person who's been watching it for the past, 10, 15 years, it's amazing seeing this generation of people who watch it. I myself, who have grown up now, and now I got a house, and from compared to when I was living in high school watching fan subs, late night on my computer, whatever, let's go ramen soda, whatever, being a total geek about it, to like now being like, okay, I got my car payments, blah blah, but watching One Piece or watching Dragon Ball. So it's a wild, unique thing, a show like that's carried on. And like I said, I currently work on it till to this day. I'm actually just did some recent TV specials that we got, the East of Blue or the Nebulandia, Sabo, the three, like you were talking about, the recap for those recap movies for those arcs. So we're still kind of touching and doing cool stuff with it. So
what's the coolest thing that you've worked on, like that you would say the coolest thing that I have made for One Piece is this?
Oh, wow.
On your own criteria, of course.
Sure.
Because everything is cool.
Yes, absolutely.
No. I
That's
think,
a good question.
When I first started on One Piece, when we started doing the season sets, I challenged myself to, and this was again at the day where we would have to still get the episodes on tape, and it would take a long time. We spent a month just on a trailer for volume 2, whereas now it's like, you got 2 weeks to make a trailer. Or even less than that, you got a week. But back then we had a little more time, and I think what I liked was every season, season 1, voyage 1, and then we had season 1, voyage 2. Everyone, I would thematically change the graphics I was trying to do one where I made these like graphics of gold coins in fake 3D space by layering up some, layers and doing some lighting, or had another one where these cannonballs and the water would be splashed up on the screen. And it wasn't until I made my own personal reel with it, where I was cutting together and showing like what my latest graphics were doing, where it's just like you cut all those next to side by side. It was like, oh my gosh, like I touched One Piece for a whole year with all the volume sets, and also all different like themes and graphics within that, where it's like season 1 voyage 1, season 1 voyage 2, and all this stuff. And it was just really cool seeing that to come together. And I think my most recent one I think I liked was the trailer for Grand. Oh my gosh, it was the casino movie.
Oh, for Gold.
Gold, One Piece Gold. Yes, of course. Yeah, I was thinking of the bad guy, Grand Torino.
Yeah, something like that.
They're not Gran Torino.
Yeah, not Gran Torino, but like I know what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I'm sounding pretty dumb right now. But One Piece Gold, that movie trailer I think was one of the few trailer edits I've done where I was like, oh my gosh, I finally nailed down the Hollywood movie trailer. Yeah, even before that I did the Dragon Ball Battle of Gods and Resurrection F, and those were a little rocky on some parts, just being self-critical and a little hard on myself. But the One Piece Gold, I watch that one every time going like, man, it hits those waves where it's like his teammates get captured, and then the bad guys like talking about like all this gold and people, why are you gonna save them? Luffy just screams at the end, and then we have our motion graphics artist Roger, a little shout out, doing the logo reveal coming in with the pieces of One Piece Gold. Airtime is just maximum. And that movie was incredible. And that was one of those, like, we had a pizza party watching that movie before we, it was for Subtitles. Hey, we got this movie where it's going to do a small screening. And watching that, I was just like, and we had some other people in there who didn't really keep up with One Piece, haven't watched much of it. And they're like, man, One Piece is wild. Like, what are they doing this show? I'm like, it's like that every time I touch One Piece. It's just, something's always new, and I just never. It's always the unexpected.
You can't predict it. Exactly,
you can't, and so it's always a fun where people are like, "How can you still work on One Piece?" It's like I've touched 700 episodes, or probably like 600 episodes doing the trailers or something like that. And I think what I like about it, it takes me back to kind of those old days of just like going home watching anime on Toonami or whatever. It's like it's a comfort food feeling, you know, where I don't have to like really think about it much. I could just, and especially if I got time, like, well, I'm just gonna watch some episodes of One Piece and see what's going on in this arc, and it's a place I like going to and going back to. It's something that I always like the adventure and the characters. It's really not work at all.
Did you actually watch?
I watched I was telling Godswill before that I watched I think it was like a couple hundred episodes in. It was like when they got to Skypiea, I think it was with the guy with the...
yes, and she hasn't seen Skypiea yet.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. Well, it was the old man on the bird.
Yes.
The old man with the bird, with the almost like Don Quixote-like guy.
Yes.
That's where I kind of stopped, and then since then we gotten busy. But every time I usually get assigned, when I had to keep it doing a trailer, I would at least watch a couple episodes, just kind of like, oh, what's going on in this? So I can at least tell the story, so it's one of those. I'm tempted. I just wrapped up Dragon Ball Super recently, and I'm tempted since I got time. Like, maybe I should start watching One Piece back over from the beginning, because it's all on our website. It's one of those and especially with the dub. And that's one thing I see Colleen. I think the dub on One Piece is great.
I think it's great too. I watch both dub and sub, and I love both.
Yeah, exactly. And I think really, and every time I see her in the hallway, Colleen, I go, I keep telling her, I'm like, you need to go to like see if there's like a record for like the most anime episodes ever dubbed, because I think she's up there with like The Simpsons. If you really think about it, she's hundreds of episodes of Luffy. And then I was still even shocked that I even go like, are you still the voice for Luffy? Because there's no way you're still the how do you do those screams?
And Urza and so many other shows.
It boggles. Right? It's just like, and because I see her in the hallways, and she's a very nice woman and very kind, and it's just crazy that she's able to just bring out that Luffy's voice and take it up those notches when he's powering up. I was still just like, did y'all find a replacement? How are you still doing that? That is insane. Like it's wild, and it's every time when she brings it out, every now and then, we have some tours or fans come through. It's incredible. So, and that goes back to, like I said, being sentimental, or I think it's that connection. You build, just like with any of those characters, you stay with something for that long. You build such a tie to them, and I think, and I still encourage people, with One Piece, start watching it. It's fun, it's really, it still holds up, and even the old stuff, sure, it's funny, seeing the upgrade, when it started off at the 4x3, the old SD, like
200s, that's when it gets to HD.
So when it was, and seeing that progress when I was working on it was pretty wild too, where it's just like, and that's when the other movies start coming out, where you're just like, whoa, like this is HD now. Like I think it was I forgot the movie. I didn't work on this trailer movie or the trailer for movie. Strong World. The previous guy, Todd, when he worked that was the first time when I saw it, was just like, whoa, like they kicked it up a notch on this one. Like what the heck? But it's so that's like I said, with that story, it's one of those. I think it's a minute little, I don't know what they say, a footnote or something. In my life and career of just like coming full circle, and then now being part of that ride and journey with Luffy, and constantly, I'm about to start on a new trailer for the TV special East episode of East Blue, and so it's just one of those, and it never. I actually look forward to working on it, just like that in Dragon Ball. It's the two shows I'm like, oh great, it's like I get a break now. I can chill out and just watch some One Piece, make a trailer. Again, I kind of almost got it down to math, but I also kind of have to like, sometimes those I think I always try to capture that emotion. These characters, you get to a certain point where there's so much history and characters that has passed with the time, especially with I'm not spoiling since you haven't watched yet, but Luffy's arc, or Sanji's personal relationships.
The episode of Sabo trailer was really good. I mean, I felt pretty emotional with that one.
Cool. That was that movie, that special was all about the emotions.
Yes.
And it was all about connecting to their past and kids,
the relationships that they had.
Yeah, and so that was, and that I won't lie, that was a little difficult, but at the same time it was like I had to really juggle that into that. Actually, it had more action in there, but they're like, no, like bring some more of that emotion, bring him back in Ace and Sabo, and so they always keep me on my toes, and like, I mean, that show, like I say, every time you boot up an episode, play an episode, you're just like, what the heck? I think the most recent one, because I've been pulling clips, I pulled clips for the simulcast season, and the whole cake arc that just happened. Every time when I got the request to pull a clip
so you
from
see
that,
something else.
I was like, "What is going on?"
It's crazy.
In this? I'm so out of loop on that part. It's so far ahead of where I'm at. Where I left off. Where I'm just like, this shows.
It gets bonkers.
It's again, but that's what's most impressive about it. It's just like it's still surprising me. And I don't know how they do it. It's crazy.
I would say the same thing to me too. Hey, thank you so much for joining us on this interview. It's wonderful to hear like what you've done, and I'm excited to see like what you're going to bring out for us.
Totally. No, thanks for having me on the show, and to everybody on listening. Make sure you like our trailers and leave comments, and we read them unfortunately sometimes. But just know that we're fans here just as well, and we're trying to make cool things. And I hope you like and share them, and it has it does the One Piece name justice and everything else you like. So
thank you, Walter.
Cool.
Thank you so much.
So I hope you enjoyed that interview. Walter is a very interesting character. He's quite the figure at Funimation. If you've seen any, actually you don't know this, but he's been actually in some specials like way back in the day. Funimation did a Christmas special.
Oh.
Yes. There's some videos that float around the internet, and Walter has been in them, and he's. If you think he's a character now, you don't even know what he's been like back then.
Oh wow!
Yes, I love Walter.
I can't even imagine.
You can't imagine. Honestly, you have to see it to believe it. I'll find it for you. But honestly, and if you guys look out there, Walter has been a mainstay at Funimation for years, and has been one of the biggest minds in some of the trailers that you see. So and also some of the spirit of Funimation, I would say. Really enjoyable having him on. So now we're moving on to episode 139, Legend of the Rainbow Mist. Old Man Henzo of Luluka Island. We got time travel in this.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
You do.
Oh my God. Like after I shouldn't spoil things. But to see like a movie that has just come out. But what movie am I talking about? Dun, dun, dun. I don't know. Anyways.
So, the crew is escaping Marines again. And this time it's new Marines. And they look old.
Yes.
I was wondering about that. I was like, who are these people?
I know,
but we don't know yet.
Yes. I actually, even as I was watching, I was like, are these guys people I know? They look familiar. Because there are old Marines that do work still. Yeah. And usually if they're old Marines, they're badass for some reason. I mean, think about Garp that we saw, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, but and we even get to see that they have some power too, right? They're chasing the Marines, and one of them flicks a coin, and everyone's like, oh, shit, it's about to go down. and it's like he's about to do the thing. And he messes up. He sneezes. He flicks his coin and ends up destroying a Marine ship, which allows the Straw Hats to escape, which is funny. And it's just like, oh, okay, cool. Anyways, they reach town.
Yeah, they reach a town with a huge tower. And when they get there, this dude comes up and he's like, hey, you got to pay the harbor tax. But Luffy ain't got time for that. He just runs him over.
Oh my God.
So I guess doesn't apply to him.
Yeah, right. At the same time, I was like, that makes sense. The first thought I had was like, that makes sense to me. But then I was like, wait, I don't know. Anyways, the guy was rude and was like, you gotta pay this tax now or else. I was like, well, anyways, good thing the Straw Hats don't take kindly to that, and just kept moving. So as they keep moving, they're like, yeah, so half the group's gonna go shopping, half the group's gonna go explore and do what they do, right? Luffy's group that goes with him, they meet this old man named Henzo, and he's like, hey, have you heard about the Rainbow Mist?
Super random.
I know, right? Super random.
Yeah, just hey, question for you guys.
Yes.
And he's like, what?
I know, right? And it's just like, I guess, I don't know. But at the same time, I did realize it's like, wait, and because I was like, wait, I seen the book that Robin's been reading. Isn't that called The Rainbow Mist?
I didn't remember that.
I caught a glimpse of it. I forgot why I saw it. But I was like, wait a second, that's something that Robin does. So I was like, Robin knows, and which is pretty cool. Another useful thing that she's doing. So she read this book, The Rainbow Mist, and she's able to, at least she doesn't really know what it is, but she's she's talking with this guy very smartly, I would say, really intelligently, like where she's keeping up and she didn't like ruin like a charisma check, I would say, like it's like, let's see where this would take us, So yeah, like they go to a restaurant and they talk to old man Henzo a little bit about what is going on. But as they get there, they see that everyone's freaking out. One, because Henzo, and like they're like, that guy's a dog of the mayor. And it's like, is he that bad? I don't know. And then two, everyone hears some drums and they start scarfing down their food and hiding whatever food they have, right? And we soon learn that's because there are stupid taxes.
Yeah.
It's like there's a tax for drinking liquor. There's a tax for eating a heaping pile of food. There's a tax for eating food. There's a tax for drinking or sipping food.
And there are tax collectors everywhere.
Golly.
Jeez, seems like the real world.
Yeah, right? Yay. So, yeah, pay taxes to do everything, and apparently these taxes go to fund Henzo. So I was like,
and his Rainbow Mist research.
Yeah, I was like, that sounds crackpot.
Yeah.
It's like, so that's where the money's going for? I'd be mad too.
Totally. Nami and Chopper are shopping, and they encounter one of these tax collectors in a battle suit.
Yes.
And I'm like, how
they want their money.
Tough? Yeah, how
they
tough
want their money now.
Tax collectors need to be.
I know, right? But yeah, when it comes to getting money, we don't play.
Can you imagine IRS tax collectors in battle suits just coming to your house? Hey,
April 16th. You forgot to file taxes. You are in now violation of Penal Code 274. Pay us now or face the consequences. That is RoboCop. Oh my gosh, that is the future right there. One Piece doing it again. Yes. Oh my gosh. And then, well, anyways, Straw Hat Pirates don't take kindly to that again, and Sanji's like, "I got this. Don't worry about it." And he tries to fight it, but it's not going well because this suit's electrified. And I was like, "Yikes!" You guys were actually pretty smart about that.
So, meanwhile, a mysterious galleon appears at the place, I guess.
Yeah.
And Luffy, Robin, and Usopp board with Henzo, and Henzo recognizes the ship as the ship that went adrift like 50 years ago.
He was very calm about it.
He was super calm about it.
I mean, to be fair, it's like, yeah, he's been doing research.
Ship
exactly, but it's ghost ship, and like you hadn't seen this ship before.
Yeah.
Right?
You just hopped in.
I know,
you don't know what's in there.
Absolutely not.
I don't know.
Zombies, like if you said like zombies coming after the ship, that would make a ton of sense.
Yes.
You just jumped on this. Anyways, Henzo follows the ship with the Straw Hat ship. So he takes their ship, and then he's like, Luffy and crew are like, hey, don't do that. So Luffy, Robin, Usopp, and then Zoro's been asleep on the ship the whole time anyways, right? It's like, okay, guy, thanks a lot. The whole crew follows Henzo into the Rainbow Mist. Ooh. So
and that's the end of this episode.
What happens next? Zombies? Find out next in Ghost Stories. For all you collectors out there, episode of Sabo is now available on Blu-ray and DVD, so you can now watch it dubbed for the first time. Adventure of Nebulandia is also up for pre-order. It'll be coming out on June 18th, dubbed for the first time. These and all other episodes we talked about are available on home video at the Funimation shop on our website. So be sure to check those out and add One Piece to your shelf. Welcome back to One Piece at a Time. My name is Godzilla N. Ugwa, and my mission statement is to get good at finger flicking, like Rapa Nui.
What?
Yes. You see like how he's able to flick. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about it as we keep going, right? But this little boy is able to flick people in the head and like knock them out. And I'm like, dang, dude. Like, that's some strength right there. And I'm like, like, don't get me wrong. I'm not expecting to go knock people out with my finger flicking. But it made me think about like Endgame. Like where they're playing like the football, the paper football type deal.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? That's an important skill. You never know. When you're going to be in a situation where you need finger flicking skills, right? Paper football. Case in point.
Super important.
You never know. It saved their lives, and I bet I'm not going to spoil any movies. But anyways, paper football, finger flicking, important skills. Boom.
My name is Jocelyn M. Rios, and my mission statement for this week is going to be to rethink about something that I left behind thinking that I was too old for it and retake it.
Ooh. You can tell us what that is?
I'm inspired by Zenny.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not sure what it is. I have to think about it. Okay. But I'm pretty sure there must be something.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, that's a good point. That's the deep point, you know? Like, me, I'm just
There's a lot of stuff that we just say, I don't have time for that, or it's too late for that now. And I'll probably find something.
Like, I mean, surfing, right? I don't know how you're going to do that, but, you know, that's one
in
thing.
Dallas?
Right, yeah. Figure it out. I have no clue. Jeez, that's a good point. Anyways, I believe in you.
Thank you.
That's a deep one. That's good. Don't forget, you can watch along with us. We have our binge guides on our blog, which is at funi.to/One Piece Podcast. So you can be watching along with us as we come out with these podcast episodes. And you can also watch One Piece along with us on Funimation.com/One Piece. And you can watch them on the Funimation Now app, which is on your phone, on your PlayStation app, on your Xbox app, Roku, whatever you got. It's most likely there for you to watch it. Let's get on with it. We're halfway through this episode, and we are now on episode 140, Residents of the Land of Eternity, the Pumpkin Pirates. I mean, that's spooky, right? The Land of Eternity.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be like
are we
very
dead?
Halloween-y.
I know, right? This is Halloween. Right, exactly right. Like, especially when you call yourself Pumpkin Pirates, like I'm expecting like skeletons, Jack Skeleton to come out.
Exactly.
All right. It means Pirates of the Caribbean, right? Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that'd be a good one. Oh well. Anyways, they got this right here. It's good. So they went through the Rainbow Mist in the last episode, and turns out that it transported them to a different dimension where it's just a ship graveyard. And there's apparently ghosts that are trying to freak them out and be like, "Don't steal our treasure."
Yeah.
But it turns out to be children.
Yep, it's just children. And they call themselves the Pumpkin Pirates.
Oh, that's cool. Well, okay.
So it's sort of a Peter Pan situation.
It really is.
Where they went through the mist and, they just never got old.
Yay.
And I feel...
50 years later.
Yeah, 50 years later. But I think they say that time works differently in the Rainbow Mist.
Yes. Man. So. Like, it really does. And as we're going to see at the end of this arc either, like how time works.
Yeah.
Which is
weird.
I'm still grasping my head around it, but I'm like, okay, it is what it is, I guess, right? But Henzo realizes them. He's like, wait, those are my friends. And I'm like, oh, that's touching, right? And it's like, apparently his friends are still kids. So, you know, where he's this 60-year-old man. All right.
And he's been trying to find them this whole time, apparently.
That's deep. That's deep. So, we get to see like a little flashback. Actually, got me a little emotional. You know, not like emotional, but it's like it made my heart like, oh, that's cute. Damn, that hurts. Oh well. So what happened was, they were friend group, and they called themselves the Pumpkin Pirates, and they're like, yeah, when we're older, we're gonna be pirates, and they were just playing around, you know, living their best life.
Yeah.
And, you know, we even see Henzo, like, who was a shy boy, like, who was like, oh, I can't do anything. But his friend, Rapa Nui, was the one, like, who urged him to be really part of the group, which is nice. All that stops one day when their town is attacked by pirates. And we see the main pirate, Captain Wetton, set fire to the town, which is sad. And the kids, for some reason, stupidly try to go, like, I'm not going to lie. I don't mince words. I was like, y'all kids, like, don't get me wrong. Yes, your parents, but don't go there trying to go. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think it's smart?
No, it's not smart. You don't know how to sail a ship,
Absolutely.
clearly.
You're right.
So what are you doing?
I know, right? So they go to town, try to find their parents. They get caught by the pirates. Or they're about to get caught by the pirates, but luckily they're running away. And that's where Rapa Nui's finger flicking skills come to effect, because he's, you know, flicking people in the head, and he's pretty agile, I would have to say, you know.
Yeah.
I know, like, he's just jumping around and able to dodge the pirates who are trying to get them. You know, about to kill them with his giant axe, right?
Yeah.
They end up taking his ship, because all the ships are broken anyways, and they take the pirates' main ship.
Wetton's there, so Henzo throws himself overboard with Wetton.
Yes. He tackles him.
Yeah, to allow everybody else to escape, and then everybody else goes into the mist, and that's how they got lost.
Dang, it was like, that's sad. And he's like, I promise to find you guys. And like, oh, dang. So, and definitely we're seeing like how things are different, because, you know, his friends are still the same age that he left him, whereas Henzo is now 60 plus years.
Yeah.
He's time went on.
So the Straw Hats realize that they have to get out.
Absolutely.
Or when they come out, Nami and Chopper are going to be old.
Right. Exactly right. Oh, no. Not Robin. Everyone else. That'd be interesting to see how old everyone gets old. Anyways, maybe Sanji and Nami get married. I don't know. Anyways, luckily Robin, our smart person aboard, right, is like, hey, wait, I've been reading this book the whole time. Maybe this will help us out. Yeah, I don't think it really did help them out, honestly.
It didn't because the volume.
Oh yeah,
she doesn't have the last volume.
Dun, dun, dun.
And that's the one that probably holds the answer.
Dun,
she thinks. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Nami, Sanji, and Chopper are still dealing with the tax collector, right? Which I'm surprised that's giving us such a hard time. I'm like, also like, y'all, don't you see where the power source is coming from? Oh well, no one does. That's whatever. And then also the problem is Sanji's holding Nami's bags the whole time. And he's like, I'm going to defeat you to protect Nami's bags. Nami does not care about him at all. I'm like, thanks, man. You are super friend zoned. Do something about that. Do something about that. But he's like, I don't care. I'll make her love me one of these days.
And then I think whoever's in there turns out to be Mayor Wetton's
grandson,
right?
Yes.
So, yeah, nepotism
right.
going on. Because I think his dad is also somebody, right?
Yes, not the mayor, but like an officer or something like that, yeah. I'm like, okay, well, anyways.
And the mayor is a pirate?
Yes.
That's what we...
Yeah,
right?
I'm surprised.
It's Wetton?
Yes.
How did that come to be?
I have no clue.
Interesting.
I'm interested myself.
Moving on to episode 141. Thoughts of Home, the pirate graveyard of no escape.
Haunted. It's haunted.
So the crew can't get out of the rainbow mist. The mist sort of loops on itself.
Yeah.
And Luffy tries it out.
I know, right?
Luffy just loves to experiment. Like,
don't get me wrong.
That can go wrong.
Absolutely wrong.
In so many ways.
Yeah. Oh, he's in the water. Oh.
Yeah, right?
What do you know?
What if it didn't loop?
Exactly.
For people.
Exactly, right? It's like he's just gone and it's just sort of like, well, all right.
I guess that's
hope he's
it.
Okay. I hope he made it to the other side.
But he does make it to the other side.
Yes. Back to where he started.
Yeah.
So, well. And he feels comfortable that it's like, yep, we're in a loop. No getting out. So Robin has the kids take them to the leader. So like the big kid. I forgot what his name is, but
Rapa Nui?
No, Rapa Nui, yeah. Rapa Nui, yeah. So and we see that the kids have a pirate as their the prisoner. Yeah, who's trying to trick them into like letting him go. This pirate, like he was on board, like when they stole the boat, this pirate was already there. Yeah. So he was like first mate or something like that of Wetton. Yeah, he just for some reason was on the boat, but then ended up going into the Rainbow Mist with the kid, and he tried working with them at the beginning, but he ended up becoming a tyrant, and the kids jailed him. So anyways, he's in jail. Everyone's running out of food. Things aren't looking too good for everybody.
So the Straw Hats arrive at the hideout, guided by one of the kids, and the crew gives them food.
Yay.
Try and get them on their side, see if they can figure out how to get out of here. But Rapa Nui doesn't trust them, and
which is fair.
Yeah.
I mean, you just saw your people got taken out by pirates.
Yeah.
Right? Then again, he wants to be a pirate. It's like, what do you expect?
Exactly.
All right. It's like, this is the way of the world, young man.
But, and then Professor Henzo gets a call from the real world.
Yeah, right. It's like, how does that work?
Which is weird.
I know, right?
Like,
the psychic
is the psychic snail power that powerful?
I guess so.
To go through the dimensions?
I have no clue. I don't know technology. It sort of is what it is, isn't it? So they're like, wait, you guys can save us. There's a way to get back somehow. I don't know. So everyone's hearing this call. The Straw Hats that are on the island, they're fighting Sanji, Chopper, Nami. They hear it. All the officers, all the Wetton people hear it too. And they're like, we're going to figure out a way to get inside the Rainbow Mist so we can get all the treasure that's there. Our evil plan. They're about to go do this thing. And then as they're about to go take a boat inside, I see monster attacks. Oh no, what's gonna happen? Bandai Namco brought out a game, the One Piece World Seeker game that just came out in March. And it is dope. It is called One Piece World Seeker. And it came out in March, and they put out an update in April. And you know what? It's continuing. They're putting out DLC, which is going to be coming out later on this summer.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so yeah, it's going to be cool stuff. You definitely want to get this game. The game is expecting to keep on growing and keep on thriving. We talked to Dimitri a little bit beforehand, who gave us a few hints that this game is going to keep on going. So Zora just got announced for it as DLC. And if Zora got announced after Luffy, and that's episode 1, what more could happen? So get that game. Go find it. It's a good time. So we're continuing also. We're going to go to episode 142, An Inevitable Melee, Weten Schemes, and the Rainbow Tower.
So we start right where we left off, after the call, and now Rapa Nui doesn't trust Henzo, like, because now he got a call from...
Yeah, Weten of all people, right?
From Weten, who was...
Which I sort of get, at the same time, is like, Henzo's here, man, to get you this whole time. I mean, to be fair, is like, I guess it's been just like a few days, maybe a few weeks for Rapa Nui.
For them, right. So it just happened.
Yes.
So they don't get that.
But you see old man Henzo.
That's true. Yeah, you should be able to figure it out.
Absolutely, right.
And Usopp defends him. He's like, hey, he's been trying to save you for like most of his life, honestly. So cut him some slack.
Absolutely. And, you know, like I liked what Usopp was saying, like where it's like he's been called a dog just to get the resources to be able to help you guys out. So he really did keep his promise the whole time. Usopp's about to bridge the friendship again. It's like, yeah, and they're about to shake the hands, and Luffy's screwing around and slingshots himself and takes.
Why?
Yeah, I know, because I don't know why.
Why, Luffy? Why?
He's screwing around. Anyways, he's screwing around and then takes Rapa Nui to the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, they get lost in this place that has nothing in it.
I know, right? I was like, that seems worse than being where they were before. I don't know. Back to the present day normal world, right? So Nami's about to get eaten by the sea pirate, but from the shadows, she's saved by someone who flicks a coin at the Sea King.
Mysterious guy.
And he disappears into the shadows.
And I think he also flipped a coin at the...
Oh, yeah.
At the tax collector.
Yeah, exactly. Which stopped them. And he's like, okay, you guys paid your taxes. You
exactly.
Right? It's like, that's it.
Like, who's this guy just flipping coins all over? I didn't tie that up until the very end.
Really?
Like, I never tied that in with the flipping.
Yeah. To be honest... Yeah, go ahead.
Because we discover who it is.
Yes, exactly, right. I think it's fair to not tie, because I mean, it doesn't really make too much sense, at least in what we know of.
Yeah.
Yes.
Of how the time works.
Yes,
and
exactly,
everything.
like time mechanics, time travel. So, but anyways, Nami's still fearless. She's like, okay, I'm gonna go in, and I'm gonna take this lifeline. You know, which everyone hyped up as the invention, and
it's just a string.
Stupid. It's like whatever. Anyways, Nami goes in with a boat through the Rainbow Mist with a string. I don't know. I feel like you guys should have tested it somehow. You have 50 years to do this thing, right? Everyone knows about the Rainbow Mist.
Yeah.
Didn't send anything else. Didn't send at least a dog. Don't get me wrong. It sounds like I hate dogs. I love dogs, but you know. When you go to space, you don't go like, okay, we'll just send a person into space. You send a monkey into space. Then you send a dog into space. And then you send a person to space. I don't know.
Poor monkey and poor dog.
I know. Poor Laika. Anyways, they're true heroes. So, Nami goes into it. She's trying to get money. When she hears that this area, the Rainbow Mist area, has a lot of treasure into it. So, and also, which is good. She's also trying to go save Luffy and all them, but also get money.
Yeah.
And Chopper has the lifeline. But then as soon as Nami goes inside, for some reason, they're still trying to beat up. Chopper and Sanji. Nami gets inside there. The people in the suits, sort of Wetens, they're still trying to beat up Chopper and Sanji, and they beat them up. Because, I don't know why. Yeah, I was like, poor guys, for sure. So they're struggling with it, but also trying to make sure that the string doesn't break. I don't know why they're trying to break the string, especially like when this sounds like it would work out better for everybody. Anyways, we go back to the Twilight Zone area where Luffy and Rapa Nui are there.
Luffy decides that he's just gonna, start walking, see if he can figure it out.
Yeah.
Rapa Nui's like, I'm not sure, like, if we don't know where we're going, should we just keep on going? And I mean, I kind of agree with him just because I know Luffy with Rapa Nui because I mean, Luffy's not that good at
directions or going stuff. Places. Yeah. Exactly right. No, I agree with you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I agree with you. Like where it makes sense that that for me personally, I agree with you that it doesn't make sense to just go someplace. What if it takes you to space? What if it takes you back in time? What if But at the same time, I think Luffy said something that was pretty good, where it's like, there's no good of like just staying here, you know? And it's like, that's good. I mean, especially like if
Which is true.
No one knows where you are. It's one thing if people know where you are and are coming to get you. So Nami gets to the Rainbow Mist area, ends up telling them about what's happening in the real world, right? And as that happens, something crazy happens, where we see the tower that we saw at the very beginning, the Rainbow Tower, it falls down and it ends up being this robotic tunnel, which will lead everyone from the real world into the Rainbow Mist area, and also has a conveyor belt inside of it, so that way they can spoon out the treasure that they find. Wow, crazy, and also it brings out the people who are all the troops of Mayor Wetton. So it's not looking good.
Yeah, so now they're on their way to the Rainbow Mist. Episode 143. And so the legend begins. To the other side of the rainbow, Luffy and Rapa Nui. Oh wait.
What happened?
Luffy and Rapa Nui escaped the Twilight Zone.
Oh yeah,
and went to the real world.
Yeah, which is weird. Yeah, they came to the real world and they see the Rainbow Tower. They go inside of it. They see that it's being a tunnel. You know, like where Mayor Wetton is there. Yeah, he's in charge of things, and he has this robot thing that's taking over things. It's a weird situation where it's like, you guys probably should have done something smarter about this, right? I think so, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know. Maybe I'm not that smart, but it's like, just figure out how we can all use this so we can get back, right? Mm-hmm.
So the mayor and all of his men arrive at this place has a name.
Appe's Concert. I don't know what Appe's Concert means.
Me either.
No, it's the place. Anyways, Mayor Wetton's goons are taking the treasure, and they are threatening to keep everyone that's in the Rainbow Mist there. But then, luckily, Luffy and squad stop that. Mm-hmm. They fight Mayor Wetton, who's inside the flame-throwing Gundam suit. I don't know, right? Right? They fight him. It starts going bad though, because like it spills oil everywhere, and Mayor Wetton shows that he doesn't care about people. He doesn't care about
anybody,
yeah, exactly. He doesn't care about his family. He doesn't care about the goons who work for him. He doesn't care even about like the pirate that escaped and like that was like part of his squad. He doesn't care about him. He makes a run for it, and he actually blows up the Rainbow Tower, which leaves everyone stuck inside Appe's Concert.
So, but we see that a weird exit forms, like they can see the sun through a hole. So they try to reach it before it closes, and they like sort of try to row the Mary towards it, but it's closing super fast. Rapa Nui plans to stay behind and blow the Pumpkin's ship to give the Mary the push it needs to get out.
I'm like, don't suicide yourself. Yeah. Right.
And then all of the rest of the Pumpkin Pirates go after him. I'm like,
that's dumb, y'all. But okay.
But friendships.
I guess.
No. But they're just kids also. It's
I guess
like,
they were like, we live together and we die together. I was like, that's hardcore, y'all.
Yeah.
Chill out, right? Like,
guys, like, just relax for a bit.
So like, we can think about this, but anyways, they end up blowing up the ship, which had like all the munitions on it. Big explosion. I don't know how they made it out. If they made it out, we don't know. They're trapped. Henzo's sad because like, I came here for you guys, but it makes it out. Luckily, it makes it out. It gives the Mary enough of a push, and it blows them. Where the Mary's flying, and it flies through the hole. It actually damages the Mary though.
Yeah.
Quite a bit. Where the mast is torn and a lot is broken in it. But everyone's saved, yay! So it puts the Mary back in the real world with everybody on it. It takes, I guess, like the backdraft sucks up the mayor's mansion.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the mayor isn't too happy because it's like my treasure and my money and everything, all the tax money I've had, and it blows all the tax money back to the citizens. So yay, karma.
Exactly.
It works out.
Yeah. And then we see that the Marines from before are the kids. And I'm like, how does that even work?
I don't know.
So they came from the future to the past to the present?
Yes. Apparently, like what they said happened was like they got blown away also outside the hole, but it took them back to their original time. and then they lived out their time as Marines when they got saved. But at the same time, I was like, wait, why didn't you guys go save Henzo?
That's what I was thinking. I was like, well, if you went back to the past, why didn't you just...
Yeah, like, hey, Henzo.
Hey, Henzo, we're here.
Exactly,
we're back.
I know, but apparently for everything to have happened where they got saved, I guess they needed future Henzo to do these things. So future Henzo needed to be sad Henzo.
Poor Henzo.
You know, right? So sorry, Henzo, but if we want to live, you gotta be sad. So I guess I don't know. Time travel is complicated.
It definitely is, apparently.
So now they're friends again, I guess. And Rapa Nui, he's like, hey, it's been nice and thanks for saving us, but we're Marines. We gotta do our job. But oh no, it's going to take too long to get the other Marines as backup to come help us out. What are we going to do? You guys will escape tomorrow. Anyways, they escape. They get the ship patched up by the citizens of the Rainbow area, right?
And then we see that Rapa Nui was actually the one to write the Rainbow Mist books.
Which is nice.
That Robin was reading.
Too bad Robin screwed up. No, I'm kidding. Right? I guess it's not her fault.
The last volume is in Alabasta.
I know, right? And apparently no one reads books because it's like, whatever. I guess it's going back on the shelf.
That's what you get for not reading.
I know, right? Reading is power. And then the Straw Hats are back out on the road again. But as right before the end, a ship is falling from the sky on top of them.
Right.
Yes.
And it's not even like a ship. It's upside down.
Yes, it's upside down and it's breaking apart. And
that's where it ends.
Yes.
To be continued.
Yes.
Why?
Very
How?
much. That's a good spot to stop. So what do you think is going to happen in the future?
I have no idea.
I know, right?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I know, right?
I mean, there has to be an explanation for the falling ship. I'm guessing, I don't know.
I'm excited.
It fell from the sky.
Yes,
So... I don't know, coming out of the filler and
back into
rejoining the story. So, yeah, new bad guys.
Yeah. Oh, man, yeah. And this is going to be a good one for sure. So, yeah.
So I was like, maybe it's another portal, just like the Rainbow Mist. And that's where, because it doesn't make sense to me that a ship would fall upside down.
Yes.
So I'm guessing, this ship came from somewhere.
Yes.
Through a portal.
Maybe. Who knows?
Okay.
Yes, we're about to see.
That's my guess.
Yes. This is going to be good. I'm excited for you.
Yes, me too. So we hope you enjoyed this One Piece at a time. Don't forget to check out the Funimation blog at funny.co/One Piece podcast with all the stuff that is updated constantly with the beach routes, the maps, and everything you need to know. Also head to our shop at funimation.com/shop and add One Piece home video to your collection. And for all things One Piece, follow us on Facebook at One Piece Official and Twitter at One Piece Anime.
Yes, and we want to thank the people who made this podcast happen. First, definitely want to thank our guest, Walter Parrington, he came on to the podcast.
Thank you, Walter.
Thank you, Walter. I want to thank the creator of One Piece, Oda Sensei. We want to thank Toei Animation for making this anime.
Thank you, Toei.
The audio engineers.
Our audio engineers.
And of course, everyone joining us on this journey, all you Straw Hats out there listening.
All of
you! Yay! And also, I'm happy you're doing that too. And don't forget to rate this podcast wherever you're listening to it and share it with the other One Piece Nakama. Give us that 5 stars, please. That's how people will know about this and be like, oh, they're legit. Right?
The next One Piece at a time will cover anime episodes 144 to 151. So be sure to watch on Funimation now, sup or duck, and be ready.
Peace.
See ya.